The 50th edition of the G7 meeting has commenced. Leaders of advanced economies are meeting for a three-day summit to discuss issues dominating the world at the moment. On the first day of the summit, G7 leaders agreed to use frozen Russian assets to raise $50 billion for Ukraine to help it in its war against the Russian forces. The political agreement was the centerpiece of the opening day of the annual summit, attended for a second successive year by the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
I can confirm that we have reached a political agreement to provide additional financial support to Ukraine of about $50 billion by the end of the year through a loan mechanism for the repayment of which the extra profits from Russian assets tied up in our jurisdictions can be used. We are not talking about a confiscation of these assets, but of the interest that accrues over time.
Also at the summit, President Biden and his Ukrainian counterpart signed a 10-year bilateral security deal hailed by Kyiv as historic. The deal signed on the sidelines of the summit aims to commit future U.S. administrations to support Ukraine. Biden also sent a clear message to the Russian President Vladimir Putin.
We've taken three major steps at the G7 that collectively show Putin he cannot wait us out. He cannot divide us. And we'll be with Ukraine until they prevail in this war.
Ukraine has signed a 10-year security agreement with Japan as well on the sidelines of the summit. Furthermore, the Ukrainian president met with the British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. During their meeting, UK announced new sanctions designed to degrade Russia's ability to wage war in Ukraine. Sunak reiterated UK's support for Ukraine. He said they will always stand shoulder to shoulder with Ukraine in its fight for freedom. Italy also hosted a session focused on investments and infrastructure projects in Africa. Projects include a rail corridor that will connect southern and central Africa. It also aims to bring telecommunication cables and other infrastructure to the region. The infrastructure investments are meant to serve as an alternative to China's development efforts, which the US and its allies say China uses to exert influence on developing nations. Now, day two of the summit, various topics are expected to be on the agenda, which are Gaza, migration, economic security and artificial intelligence. Moreover, Pope Francis is set to become the first pontiff to attend a G7 summit. He will be addressing the subject of artificial intelligence at the conference. He has previously called for global regulation of AI, warning of its dangers to ethics and to human rights.
Jesús toma a tres de ellos, Pedro, Santiago y Juan, los conduce a un monte y se transfigura. Y este baño de luz los prepara.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.